Lesson 25. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started in our workbook, on our workbook page. We're in part 1, okay? And they want you to write a number family for each of these, for A and B. Okay, so we are going to write the addition facts for the number families. Let's see. Our first fact was 6, 7, and B was 6 and 8. All right, so 6 plus 7 is 13. So I could also write my number families would be 6 plus 7 equals 13 and 7 plus 6 equals 13. Those are my addition number families. For this one, 6 plus 8, 14. So I have 6 plus 8 equals 14, or 8 plus 6 equals 14. Those are the two addition number families that I can have for each of those problems. All right, moving on to part 2. For each problem, you're going to make a number family with 2 numbers and a letter. Remember, the letter is the missing number. After you made your number family, write the addition problem or subtraction problem to figure out the answer. Then fix up the number family so you know what's missing. Work all of the problems in part 2. All right, so I'm going to get a tissue so I can wipe the board. Apologize. All right, part 2. So A says the big number is 173. Okay, so let's see. A, my big number goes here, 173. Let's read the next sentence. The small number is 61. The second small number is 61. So 61 goes here. The first small number is N. I do have enough information to complete this. So I'm going to go ahead and work backwards because I have my big number. So I need to find my small number. So my problem is 173 minus 61. And we're going to be solving for N. You should be writing these problems down as we go. All right, so 3 minus 1 is 2. 7 minus 6 is 1. And bring down the 1. So N equals 122, or 112. Goodness. That is our answer. So we're able to fill in that spot. Let's go ahead and do problem B. All right, problem B. The small numbers are 482 and 18. 482 and 18. The big number is M. Okay, so I'm missing my big number. Am I going to add or subtract? I'm going to add because my big number is bigger than both these numbers because I'm combining them. Okay, so to get B, I'm going to put 482 plus 18. You will find what M equals. Go ahead and get your answer and then write it in on the line. All right, I'm going to go ahead and set up C and D for you. All right, C. All right, C says the first small number is R. The big number is 95. So I'm going to go all the way to the end, 95. The second small number is 49. Okay, so I am missing a small number. I am going to small number subtract 95 minus 49. Here I have to borrow. Don't forget to cross out your 9 and borrow. And then put your 1 over top. That will equal R and D. The big number is 549. The small numbers are 132 and T. Okay, I'm missing a small number, so I am going to subtract 549 minus 132. I don't have to borrow here. Go ahead and solve that for T, and then plug it in on your line. All right, part 3 in your textbook. You have to borrow to work these problems. For some problems, you have to borrow from the ones column to work, and for some problems, you have to borrow in tens column to work. Go ahead and write each problem down and solve. When you are finished, move on to part 4. Part 4, copy each problem down. Complete the problem with the sign. Remember, greater than or less than. Remember, if I am an alligator, I want to eat more cookies or more whatever they eat, alligators. So it's an alligator, he wants to eat more. So he is going to be eating our 9, okay? You wouldn't eat our 5 because our 5 is less. So if these were cookies, you would want 9 cookies as opposed to 5 cookies. So go ahead and complete part 4. Going to move on to part 5. I'll read what it says in the box. Here are 2 pictures of the same rectangle. In the first picture, the rectangle is lying flat. In the second picture, it's standing up. It's the same rectangle, so no matter which side you start with, when you figure out the area, you'll end up with the same number of squares. I'll read the instructions. Write the multiplication problem and answer for each rectangle. Remember the unit name. All right, rectangle A. My multiplication problem for rectangle A is 5 times 2. All right, so 5 times 2 is 10, and that would be square units. So SQ and B is just the same, but B is 2 times 5. The same numbers, just like our number families we did a little bit ago. Okay, 2 times 5 is also 10 square units. So those are the same pictures. One is just standing straight up and one is laying on the side, okay? Moving on to part 6. The number you count by for each rectangle along the top, not up the side. The number is circled. That's the first number you're going to write in your multiplication problem. So you're going to write the first circled number. Problem A. What number is along the top? 2. So the multiplication problem for A is 2 times 6. Touch rectangle B. Start with the circled number. The multiplication problem is 10 times 3. Go ahead and touch rectangle C. Start with the circled number, and the multiplication problem is 9 times 4. I'll read the instructions. Write the multiplication problem and the answer to each rectangle. You can go ahead and do that. When you are finished, we are heading over to our workbook. All right, on our workbook page, I do not have one in front of me, so I'm working off of a different page. However, part 1 in your workbook looks like this. Remember we had talked previously about our bigger number. If it's bigger, longer, faster, it goes here at the end, okay? Anything else goes right here in this spot. All right, so our problem for A, J is less than M. If J is less than M, I know that M is our big number, so M is going to go here. And I will put J up here. B, let's see, who goes at the end? R is more than P. So if R is more, it's bigger. I put it here. R, P. I want you guys to try C and D on your own. When you are finished, you may go ahead and complete parts 2 and 3 and 4 independent work, okay? When you are finished, please go ahead back to the textbook and complete the independent work in there as well. And when you are all done, submit.